together on this beautiful, beautiful day. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Once again, we suggest you move to gallery view on the top right to be able to see the faces of our community. Everyone's muted since, as you know, we can't speak more than one person at once, but it gives us an opportunity to at least see each other, and maybe we can just give a wave or a heart tap to let others know that we are in the room. It's great to see all of you. Cantor, shall we begin?
I think now is a great time to begin.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It is good to see all of you. And having missed a few weeks, it's really good to see all of you. Next week, we begin the new year of Rosh Hashanah. It's hard to believe. It's also hard to believe that it's been so many years now that we've shared life together. And with many of you, I remember sharing this day, September 11th, but 2001, a day I know many of us will never forget. I was actually at the temple in what we then called an executive committee early morning meeting when we heard that a plane hit the World Trade Center. And then we heard that another one did. And so we all shut down the meeting and turned on the news. And then in shock, we actually went outside our temple building, our little temple Beth Elohim building, looking up at the sky, thinking that a plane could target us. That's how bizarre it was in that moment. In fact, we sent the nursery school kids home immediately in fear. And I'll never forget, a few days later, a mother of a nursery school student called me and said she was taking the kids to Michigan, uncomfortable to live in Boston again. That was the level of fear. And since that day, I think in some ways our society has paid a heavy price as we have encountered a fear like I don't remember prior to that September 11th day. And a fear can be a healthy emotion, an evolutionary gift to survive in an uncertain world. But fear can also hurt us, eroding our trust, a trust that is necessary to build relationships, to open ourselves up, to be vulnerable in order to be loved. And I believe that ever since, we've been living in a world of fear, and sometimes fear is even dialed up intentionally, risking our ability to reach out to one another and love. And so I hope this evening we can remember together the events of 9/11 and all who perished on that awful day, but also remember that we are a people of trust, that despite history's awful events, and we as a people have experienced many, that the world is good. In the words of our Torah, the world is tov. The world is a narrow bridge, we're told, but we're not to be afraid. We're to walk forward openly, to reach out, to care, and to love. And so with that sense of vulnerability and openness to the blessings that Shabbat can bring, that family and community can bring as well, let us walk over that bridge together. One of the most beautiful ways that our people have demonstrated our love and hope for the future is by celebrating when a child becomes an adult in our community. And tomorrow we actually have 3 individuals separately becoming bar and bat mitzvah in the sanctuary, which is what we're calling our hybrid bar mitzvah service, so that they can celebrate reading the Torah right where I'm standing and invite their guests through Zoom. So I'm really looking forward to a busy day tomorrow. First, we would like to spotlight Maya. So Maya Rosen for the lighting of the Shabbat candles outside. There she is. Tracy, Jono, Ross, family. And when Maya lights these candles, the cantor will lead us in prayer.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel
Amen and Mazel Tov. And now we invite everyone to return to gallery view as we continue welcoming Shabbat with Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Oh, Borechem the Shalom, Malachei Hashalom.
To welcome Shabbat as though Shabbat enters as a bride. We open our hearts to love. Cantor Zell, if you'll lead us.
Shamor v'zachor b'diborecha Hishmi'anu el ha'miyuchad Adonai echad U'shemo echad L'shem ultiferet v'litchila Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Enei Shabbat Nekapela Lecha now, if you are able to rise in body or spirit, we do so to greet the Sabbath bride. Boi v'shalom, ateret bala, gam b'simcha uvetzola, toch emunei am segula, boi chala, boi chala, olecha dodi likrat kala, o penei Shabbat nekavela, olecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekavela, penei Shabbat nekavela.
Let us join together in the words of Ahavat Olam as we acknowledge God's gifts to us through Torah.
Ya la la, ya la la la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amecha, Ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Let's all join together. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai la lai ya la la lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Take a deep breath in. Hear the sound of our own voice as we imagine singing alongside so many of our friends, community members here. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Let's join together in this prayer for hope at this time. We are frightened, God, worried for our loved ones, worried for our world. Helpless and confused, we turn to you, seeking comfort, faith, and hope. Teach us, God, to turn our panic into patience and our fear into acts of kindness and support. Our strong must watch out for our weak. Our young must take care of our old. Help each one of us to do our part to halt the spread of this virus. Send strength and courage to the doctors and nurses in the front lines of this battle. Fortify them with the full force of their healing powers. Send wisdom and insight to the scientists working day and night across the world to discover healing treatments. Bless their efforts, God. Fill our leaders with the wisdom and the courage to choose wisely and act quickly. Help us, God, to see that we are one world, one people who will rise above this pandemic together. Send us health, God. Watch over us. Grace us with your love. Bless us with your healing light. Hear us, God. Heal us, God. And let us say, Amen.
Amen.
Let there be love and understanding among us. These words of Hashkibenu.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, Leshalom. V'ha'amidenu, Shomreinu L'chaim. Ufros aleinu, Sukkot Shlomecha. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, Leshalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
This week, we read from a double parsha, two Torah readings, Nitzavim Vayelech. And Nitzavim speaks about standing and stopping. And Vayelech is about going and moving on. And so as we think about Shabbat, let us pause, perhaps in the gratitude that we experienced this week, perhaps in something else that filled our hearts and our souls, something we want to stop and dwell in a sacred palace in time, and allow it to come over us as we immerse ourselves within it. We hold on to it, and then we can go forward. So if you are able, in this moment of personal reflection, I invite you to rise in body or in spirit as we ask God to help us find those words of meditation and prayer.
Na na na
And we are filled with gratitude this week for some teens in our community who have made a recording, an offering of Shalom Rav, a prayer for peace. So let us join together along with them.
Shalom Rav, Ha'Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav, Ha'Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam.
Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam.
V'tov b'necha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol ed uv'chol shah b'shlomecha.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam.
Thank you. So let us continue with a prayer for healing. Healing for those who are in need of healing of mind, of body, of spirit, or of soul. And so if you have someone in your hearts and your minds this Shabbat, I invite you to place their names in the chat box as we ask collectively for our prayers for healing upon them. And I want to include Cindy Tischler and Tyler Schwall.
Misheberach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
And of course, as we all know, on Shabbat, we also give thanks for the sacred moments we've shared during this past week. And I want to acknowledge once again our Bar Mitzvah students, Caroline and Maya and Sasha and Ezra, who will celebrate tomorrow. I also want to thank God for an anniversary this evening. Bob Bloom and Christina Jameson are married for 49 years. If you have celebrated an anniversary this past week, we invite you to raise your hand as well so that we can acknowledge you. Happy anniversary. How about birthdays? Any birthdays out there? Give us hands. Happy birthday, everyone. As we scroll through, it's good to celebrate together. I also want to acknowledge Mimi Burstein. There you are on my screen, who will be moving to Northfield. But obviously, I shouldn't say obviously, but thankfully continuing her membership at TBE and involvement, as she has been a member for 48 years of our temple community. For so many things, we give thanks. For health, for life. Let us give thanks together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'echianu v'kilanu v'higianu hazman hazeh Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'echianu v'kilanu v'higianu hazman hazeh
Ryan. So I should mention also under Shehechianu moments, I almost forgot that it seems as though Bahrain and Israel have come to a peace agreement, which marks the fourth Arab nation to make a formal peace with Israel, after Egypt, of course, and Jordan, and recently the United Arab Emirates, and now Bahrain. So we live in a very unusual world right now as realignments are taking shape in the Middle East. And we pray that peace will come. So from there, I want to share a few words. I actually want to do something a little different this evening, knowing that you'll be hearing from our rabbis plenty over the next couple of weeks as we celebrate the High Holy Days together. I wanted to try something different on Zoom. And rather than speak to you formally, share with you a brief meditation, a guided meditation that I hope you'll join with me for. It comes from a metaphor from the Talmud, written some 2,000 years ago, that tells of three books that are opened before God on the High Holy Days. And many of you know of them. The name of every human being is written in one of three books. In the first book are written all the names of people whose destiny is assured to live another year. And in the third book is the list of all those whose fate for death is already sealed. But in the middle is basically all of us. And that's the book that is determined during the 10 days of Teshuvah. Of course, this is a metaphor, never intended to be taken literally, but it was offered to us by the rabbis to remind us that it's in our control whether we are written into the book of life. And when I say the book of life, it's not that we're physically alive, but we're alive through our memory, that were remembered for good. And so I ask you if you'd like to close your eyes or just look inside and imagine a movie screen in your imagination, and there are these 3 books open before God. And in the middle book, which contains the names of all of us, all whose fate is yet to be determined, that you look up your name, alphabetically, of course. So flip through some pages, if necessary, and see your full name written in that book. How big is the book? What color is the binding? Is it cloth bound, paper bound, leather bound? And how many columns are on each page? How many pages does it seem to have? And then focus on your name, your full name. Perhaps you may even see a Hebrew name, together with the names of your parents. Watch the letters of your name now become very big, and they're written in large gold letters. And look at your name for a moment and ask, what does your name mean to you? How would you like your name to be remembered in the world? Whom would you like to remember you for decades after your pilgrimage on earth has been completed? Try to think of this objectively without being morbid or concerned about the length of your years. But instead ask, what goals did you achieve while you were here on earth? What goals did you achieve? And then watch as the letters of your name rise off the page and fly in the air, where it will fly throughout these high holy days. And begin to ask, what kind of things can you do during this period to assure that the rest of your life will move in the way you hope it to go? And then see yourself doing these things that will help you live a full, productive, and meaningful life. Let's think of these things we hope to do. And then ask, are we satisfied with what we did in life? And if not, add 1 or 2 more things, if you can. And then watch your name return into the book where it was. It is now the end of the High Holy Days, and the decision is made. Your name now flies off the page again and goes into that metaphoric book of life. Your name is written there. This is our work during these High Holy Days. Tomorrow we'll celebrate Slichot and hear the sounds and melodies of these days, and we'll begin the hard work at hand to make sure we write a book of meaning, a book of which we're proud. And so with that, I say, Lishana Tova, Shabbat Shalom.
Hashivenu, Hashivenu,
So we now turn to the words of Mourner's Kaddish, and of course, on this day, we think of all who perished in the events of 9/11. We also invite those of you who are here this evening to write the names of those individuals you're remembering into our chat room. And let me recite the names of those individuals who are related to members of our community and have passed during the past 30 days. Jean Belowich, Joel Dembling, Janet Falgois, Peg Harder, Samuel Natanson, and I mentioned Shirley Goldenberg, the mother of Richard, who will be laid to rest this coming Sunday. I've also been asked to read the name of Sandra Fleck Rubin and Lawrence Stearns. We think of them, we think of all mentioned in the chat room. We think of all who perished on 9/11. As together we say words of Mourner's Kaddish. If the mourners in our community would please rise at this time if you're able, or raise a hand so that we can acknowledge you as mourners in our midst, as we have you lead us in these words. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemer rabah, v'yamad yivrach roteh v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayachon v'yomachon, v'chayed cho beit Yisrael, v'agalav izman kariv imru amen. Yehei shemer rabah morach le'alam olamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yithromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemed u'tashab richu. Le'elam inko birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechamata. Ta'amiran bi'ama v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May peace descend on us, on all Israel, and on all the world. And let us say, amen.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed God's grace on thee, and crown thy good with peoplehood from sea to shining sea. America, America, God shed God's grace on thee, and crown thy good with peoplehood from sea to shining sea.
Thank you, Cantor. Thinking about the future of our nation, I know we have many committees working hard to work for its strength. And I know one committee is working hard on voter registration. So this is a reminder to vote in the upcoming election. Other announcements, rabbis, Cantor.
This week, maybe Rabbi Sapphire is going to say this, you can build upon it, but this week, the most important thing we can do is begin to build our homes into a sanctuary, the sanctuary that we are going to create for ourselves over the high holy days. So you have shalom kits to pick up at the temple. And so the times were listed in the email. And Rabbi Sapphire, do we have more information about that?
That's exactly what I was going to say. We hope that you will consider picking up kits for friends and neighbors, as we hope every congregant family at TBE is able to gather there. So if you're not able to pick yours up, there is a form on the e-blast to let us know, and we will make sure that it gets to you.
Tomorrow is Slichot, 7:30. Rabbi Sapphire will be teaching how to make your home a small sanctuary, and then we'll join together at 8 o'clock for our brief service. Remember to register for the High Holy Days. It's really important, and especially register no matter what. We need to know how many people are on Zoom, because we'll be having multiple links because we'll have so many people on Zoom. And then, of course, if you would like to visit the sanctuary individually, we need you to make an appointment. And if you're going to visit us for one of our in-person experiences, it's really important you register and fill out the necessary form and receive the instructions so that we can gather in a physically distant and safe way. So with that, I think we're ready to say Kiddush and Motzi.
Think so too. And Rabbi, just a quick another addition for tomorrow night. We will be joined by the one and only Noah Aronson for our Slichot service. So we hope that you'll join with us in prayer and in meaning as we bring in our High Holy Days together. So are we ready with our Kiddush cup, Caroline? Wonderful to see you. How about you hold that Kiddush cup up high and I'll help you with the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Extra high right now. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat l'chaim. Take a sip, Caroline. You can complete the mitzvah by doing so. It's a beautiful Kiddush cup. And I know that I join the rest of the community when I wish you and also Maya earlier a mazel tov. And now I'd like to turn over to our other two mitzvah students this weekend, Ezra and Sasha Lee. There you are, beautiful.
Can I just say a word that Sasha and Ezra are wonderful Jewish leaders, and they will be leading us tomorrow. But I especially want to mention that their grandfather just happens to be my predecessor, who led this community for more than 2 decades, 24 years, and enabled this community to grow and grow. So I have a special appreciation for the role that he played. And when I see you standing here leading us, it brings me just tremendous joy. So thinking of Rabbi Weiss, let us say the Motzi. You have a challah somewhere, or you're just gonna, that's fine. Because we have a, hey, there it is, perfect.
Oh, 2 challah. Twice as nice.
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Amen. Mazel tov. Let's open up our microphones. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Mazel tov.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
Congratulations, Robert Blumen, Tina James. Hi, Jack Gondelman. Mazel tov.
Hi, Marsha.
Shalom, Mimi.
to see you.
Shabbat shalom.
See you tomorrow. Congratulations.
Marsha.
Quickly they all start
Hi,
getting
Hi, Warren. Hi,
places.
David.
How many people are gonna sign on for the holiday?
Look like you're doing well.
Shabbat shalom, Sherman family.
Shabbat shalom. Hello, Amy Friedman. Shabbat shalom, all.
Shabbat shalom.
Good. They keep moving. Hi, Mimi and David. Here's hi. They wave back. And Marty.
Shabbat shalom.
everyone. Shabbat shalom, Leah.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, Rhonda.
All right.
I don't know.
Everybody, have a great day.
Rachel, I like your tie.
I believe. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom, bud.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Hi, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, Ellen. I love singing harmony with you tonight.
Warren, I like your tie.
Warren.
Hey.
Like your tie.
Debbie. Shabbat shalom, bud.
Nice tie, Warren.
Shabbat shalom, Emily.
Shabbat shalom. Hi, Marjorie.
Boom, 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 boom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom, Julie.
Okay, get off. I finally figured out.
Warren. Warren.
Shabbat shalom,
Warren, I
Merle.
like tie.
Thinking about you today. No, get up. At the bottom, you leave. You leave at the bottom.
It's on the side of that on the middle book, he said, say your name in the book.
Yeah.
Picture.
Hey, everybody.
Leave.
That's the mom, Rachel.
Shabbat shalom, Allison.
Unlimited. Different letters will reassemble.
Don't cut it.
Think about.
You're on the mic, by the way.
Oh, right. I thought you said it was muted.
No, I muted it.
Can you put this on better?
Or it's muted, one or the other.
No,
Call her first.
Cool.
Okay. Irene, this morning.
That's the other slide. So you allow it tonight too.
Yeah.
Let me see. Thank you. Hi.
Shabbat shalom.
Good job. Look at how cute they are.
He load up the paper there. You put a smear on.
That's true.
No, you don't. This is what it's called. Dude, watch. This is what a smear looks